to the Nerdiverse. Go ahead, sit and listen to the masters, the old heads, talk about what you love the most. Video games, comics, movies, and everything you need to maintain. We got the knowledge that's straight out the ether. Gonna need a drink and have to take a seat to expand your mind and listen to the speaker. Mike and the squad's gonna give you what you need. Please send in the question, come and get some answers, learn a couple lessons from the masters with the special guests. We got the Green Lanterns glowing on their chest. Yes, please sit back and relax, cause we're gonna hit you with them stone cold facts. And allow me to be the very first to welcome you to the masters of the Nerdiverse. Welcome to Masters of the Nerdiverse podcast, where we always have such sights to show you. You can find this nuclear vault of a podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, SoundCloud, YouTube, iHeartRadio, and Google Play. I am, of course, your host, Mike G. And with me, as always, is my supernatural co-host,
Winter, controller of ice and more ice.
So much ice.
Yeah.
Why do you control so much ice, bro? How do you do it? How'd you figure that out?
Well, what I do is I can transform water into cubes of ice by putting it into a special box that I created.
Is it called an
with
ice
my
box?
powers combined. Is it called a what, sir?
Is it called an ice box?
Is this like the PUBG Fortnite thing going on? Did I already make?
No, man. No, man. It's funny you mentioned that because I was just sitting at my desk and it's like at work, and like the more I think about Iceman and his actual powers, it's like, why isn't this guy like the lord of a small country? Because his powers are ridiculous if you just keep thinking about it. Like,
yeah, he could be the number one Russian. He could be Russian number one.
Man,
Russian Highlander.
He controls the I control the Russian skies. You know,
yeah.
He's so OP. He can turn into vapor. Did you know that he can create other Iceman clones of himself and control them in a hive mind kind of situation? Iceman's dumb powerful.
Yeah.
Anywho,
well, I first thought we were talking about Mr. Freeze for a second, but we thought
no, Mr. Freeze works too. There's so many ice-based characters, and Killer Frost. She works too. That's a good one too. Man, how you doing? How you feeling?
Oh, glad to be recording, Mike.
Mike.
Wish this could be my day job, but you guys are poor listeners.
Wow, just call out our listeners. Why don't you?
Yeah,
you guys should be doing more. Give us all the monies so we can have solid gold cats.
Yes.
And live on islands and drink, like have people
have Blue Apron.
Dr. Pepper.
We need Blue Apron.
I wish I had a Blue Apron sponsor.
Yeah.
I'll sponsor the hell out of that and make that apricot aioli beef tenderloin pizza.
Yeah. All the food sounds gross, but I would promote it.
I'll allow it. It. Geez Louise.
Yeah, I watched I'm going through a documentary right now, and I have to go through it in bits because a lot of it's crazy. It's Room 237, that documentary.
Ooh, I love that documentary. I can gush about that all day. Go ahead.
At first, I thought this documentary was created by that one director who did that movie in the 70s. And then he made one for Netflix about the Manhattan Project, a guy who worked for that. I can't remember his name, but the style is almost exactly the same, where they reenact scenes of like people in the movie theater watching clips. But anyways, the meat of the story of Room 237 is like all these people have different theories of what is the story behind, or like what's the messaging behind The Shining.
Yeah.
And some of it is like left field, super deep. I don't understand.
There's one part I want to ask you about because I don't see it. I wonder if you see it. There's a part in Room 237 where one of the commentators is like, if you look at the clouds at this right moment, you can see Stanley Kubrick's face. And it's like, did you see it? Did you see his face?
Well, first of all, I was like busting up laughing after he made the connection that if you slowed down the frame while we're in the office, you could see the general manager lean in, and you see like a paper holder that at a certain frame, it looks like he has an erect penis. I'm like, what? Okay. And then he cuts to, I'll give you one more. And then I'll give you one. He wasn't even going to say this one. But okay, he pretended like he wasn't going to say it. But you know that he's been dying for someone to hear this his entire life.
Man.
If you look at the clouds, you can see Stanley Kubrick's face. And then
it's so nuts.
Yeah. They hold on to it for a while, and I'm like, okay, I can kind of see it. I can see little eye holes and a beard, but that would have been a good time to have your little outline showed in the sky. But it's classic Ancient Aliens tactics.
It's kind of nuts. It's like some stuff I can get behind, like the whole.
I think the Minotaur is interesting.
The Minotaur was interesting. The Calumet, Indian cans were interesting. My favorite one was the what was it? Dang it! It just left my
Holocaust?
brain. Not the Holocaust. That's nuts with the bald eagle typewriter.
Yes.
One of my favorite ones is the house doesn't have the spatial awareness on the house is completely out of whack.
Yeah.
Where this lady sat and drew out a schematic of the house based on the scenes in the film, and the house doesn't make sense on a geometric level. Like there's certain rooms that are showing like outside window panes, but technically are in the center of the house, so there's no way it would have an outside window. Weird things like that, like certain floors don't mesh. And supposedly Stanley Kubrick was this infinite genius, and he just thought all this stuff beforehand just to mess with people, decades into the future. It's super nuts. I love that documentary, by the way. It's so crazy.
It's crazy. But before starting my adventure into that, I watched the wonderful Nicolas Cage. We're back in Cage news.
We're keeping it going.
Yeah. The movie Snake Eyes on Hulu.
Snake Eyes. So I don't think I've ever seen that, honestly.
I think it's a hidden gem. It's Brian De Palma, director. Yeah, it's like Nicolas Cage plays a crooked cop who needs to solve a murder.
Like Bad Lieutenant.
Yeah, but it's Nick. Oh, well, Nick Cage is in the sequel. All right. Yeah, but Gary Sinise is in it. And those are the only two actors you need to know about in the movie.
I love Gary Sinise. He's kind of the best.
And interesting to make note of, Brian De Palma apparently has this criticism about the way women are treated in his movies.
Okay.
And I read that, and then I watched this movie Snake Eyes, and I go, oh, okay, maybe I don't know.
I can see it now, huh?
I don't know if I could read it into the movie or not. But
wow.
Yeah, I believe he also made the movie Carrie.
Yeah, Carrie's a trip, man. Carrie's very women-centric, kind of like the horrors of being a nerd in high school.
But then he makes Scarface, where there's a lot of women slapping around.
He doesn't like the ladies, apparently, man. This Brian De Palma character, dog.
He could be an Alfred Hitchcock style character.
Yeah, Hitchcock was notorious for that stuff, dude. I love those. I love Hitchcock movies. I love Rear Window. I love Vertigo. Definitely love Psycho, but the man himself was kind of a creep, dog. Like, real talk. But, other than watch epic ass movies and documentaries, what else did you do for your week, man?
Installed Overwatch again.
Okay. That's interesting.
Getting back into that stuff. That's pretty great.
Yeah.
Trying to go
Who are you
pro.
maining right now?
I'm always Roadhog. I'm always Roadhog.
Yeah, that chain physics, bro. We gotta run a set sometime. I wish the mess was cross play compatible, man, because I would love to play a game with you.
Well, you just have to buy an Xbox.
Well, they're expensive. And I'll get one eventually once they put out a good damn game. I'm still kind of waiting for KOTOR too, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
I'm gonna look up real quick an Xbox One cost at GameStop.
Okay, I'm gonna go into my
Because-
week real quick. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Why you do that? So the one thing I can easily talk about real quick while he's looking that up is I've been watching a bunch of old Star Trek TNG episodes recently, like a lot of the Next Generation stuff. I've been like falling asleep to it, and I started at the second season because everybody knows the first season was garbage. And that show has some wacky episodes, man, that I completely forgot about. Man. And like the one with one of my favorite ones is the one where they have the trial on which to see if Data is actually property or if he's actually a sentient being, him being an android and all. And it's like one of my favorite episodes that talk about the subject matter, and it's really deep. Like how do you prove sentience among anything from a bee to me? Like how can you prove that I'm a sentient being versus something that was artificially made? It's a very interesting argument, and that was the episode I kind of started on and went down the rabbit hole of just watching other episodes, like the introduction of the Borg was a very good episode. I just watched this weird episode where this kid's mom died on an away team mission, and Worf had to adopt the kid because he felt bad because Worf was in charge of the mission when his mom died. So there's this weird ghost entity that comes on the ship and like takes the form of the kid's mom. And it's like trying to get him to go onto this desert planet, which is them two. It's
Yeah,
really
that's weird.
There's some really weird TNG episodes, like this episode where they accidentally break the Prime Directive and go on this planet, and these dudes think that Captain Picard is a god, so they just start worshiping him and doing real crazy stuff in his name. Like Picard will be angry if we don't sacrifice this young child. He will give us a bountiful winter. Picard's like, no, man, I'm just a dude. Like, you guys need to slow down. But anyway, yeah, I've been watching a ton of TNG, getting back into Star Trek, because hot take. If I have to be honest with myself, deep down in my heart of hearts, I love Star Trek more than I love Star Wars.
Oh, jeez, man.
I'm just saying. Just fight me, at me. I don't care. I just think the stories are more compelling. I think there's more content. I think that there's generations of content that you can really base it upon. They tackle more interesting subject matter. We fight omnipresent super beings to warrior races to technologically advanced super soldiers. Star Trek is dope, dude. Not to say anything against Star Wars. I love Star Wars.
Too late.
But if I had to put them head to head, I'm a Star Trek guy. I just realized that about myself in my old age. Yeah, man.
Jeez, man. That's gross.
Whatever. I'm not a Trekkie. My dad's a Trekkie.
Okay.
But I'm not that far. I'm not like wearing Starfleet uniforms and
how about this?
My heart and shit.
Out of these two things I'm about to say, which one do you like more, technology or philosophy?
That's a very hard question, and it's a very good question. I like philosophy better.
No, you like technology more because it makes my point stand out.
Really? We should have talked about this before we recorded. I wouldn't have sandbagged you, dude. But that's my honest answer. I like the deep thought of philosophy. But for the sake of your argument, you know what? I love technology. I wish I could live forever to see where it finally goes.
See, what I was going to say, or what I am going to say, is that Star Wars is a lot more, in my mind, philosophical driven, because you have George Lucas, originally plotting out Star Wars with the book Hero of a Thousand Faces by Joseph Campbell in mind.
Yes, very good pull.
And I know. And and like that is what is pushing this movie along, and we're actually seeing something interesting with this new series of movies coming out where the hero's journey is ending, but then a new one is beginning. And I think who was the guy that directed the Last Jedi?
That was Not Colin Trevorrow. He got fired.
Right.
Ryan Johnson.
Okay. I think Ryan Johnson he made the movie a certain way to make it clear to people that this is that yes, these are the people who were in the original trilogy, but now they are moving on to another group of people. I think that's clear now.
Right.
Yeah. It's also clear by Mark Hamill saying he didn't like the way Luke Skywalker was portrayed in The Last Jedi, which means that he is not long for this world, probably.
Right. Jeez Louise.
Yeah.
He can always play Joker, I guess. But yeah, to your point, I like the point you made where Ryan Johnson, The Last Jedi, man, in regards to philosophy, the hero's journey was from episode 1, episode 6 was absolute. Episode 1, episode 6, right, was absolutely completed. It was the story of Anakin Skywalker from the jump, right?
Right.
From Phantom Menace to Return of the Jedi, right? And what was The Force Awakens but a love letter to those older movies? Had a lot of cameos, had a lot of fan service. What Ryan Johnson understood, and I think really if you ask Disney, what they understand is that's finite. You know what I mean? That story is finite. You can pull so much, and these people aren't getting any younger. I think that Ryan could have done it a bit more tactfully. Yes, I think he could have handled the transfer of the new hero from the old hero better. But it's like you got to rip off the Band-Aid, man. Like Rey is the future, Ben is the future. We have to stop worrying about the past. Otherwise, it's the franchise is going to grow stagnant. And it's a half measure because then you have movies like Solo coming out, which is a step backwards in what they're trying to do. It's a placate. They're trying to placate the audience with, remember this guy? You know what I'm saying? They're still trying to do that, but at the same time contradict themselves with a Last Jedi that is legit like, no, this is the future. You know, catch up with us or be left behind. And fans don't like that. Last Jedi was a gut punch to a lot of people because it shattered that philosophy. It shattered, you know what I'm saying?
I would say also that like 1 through 6, that is what the hero's journey is all about. That's completed, right? So people are not like our stories normally don't go farther than that, really.
Right.
So it leaves our mind to this imagination of what comes next. And then yes, there was all these other books that came out, but even the books had their detractors because people had this idea of what was going to happen next.
Exactly.
So you're never going to please an audience of dreamers and go like, this is the dream that I believe we all had. Like this is a director going, this is the dream that we all had. And then someone's going, no, the dream that I had, Princess Leia died in the second one because she's dead.
Princess Leia. Or she became a Jedi, right? Or something nuts, right? And you make a very good point is that is the curse of popularity in a way where like the Matrix 2 and 3 were never going to live up to the original, right? Because like you said, people are already imagining better scripts in their head. And when they see something that doesn't mesh with what they want happen, they rage against it.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not supposed to turn out that way. Luke is supposed to live forever. Even though every Jedi Master has died in the Star Wars movies from Obi-Wan all the way to Luke, right? All the Jedi Masters die and become Force ghosts. But don't let Luke die. Anyway, but yeah, it's the popularity kills franchises unless you're following a certain pattern, especially with Star Wars, where everybody's a screenwriter and everybody imagines what can never happen, right? It's very rare that we get it right as fans. Right. And when we get it right, we're disappointed, right? They couldn't have thought of anything better.
Absolutely.
It's a double-edged sword. And like, how do you win? How do you market to the mass audience is that you just keep spoon feeding them what they already like. Ooh, Jedi's lightsabers, just keep that up.
Right. If you want to be spoon-fed stuff, just go watch Marvel movies.
Oh, don't get me started on that. I love my Marvel movies to death. But I'm really interested to see what they do with some of these newer characters and what directions they take them. What I would love a Star Wars trilogy that had nothing to do with Jedi, personally. Just Jedis are over there. I would love a side Star Wars trilogy of just smuggler, seedy Mos Eisley stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Solo didn't have any Jedis till the end, right? Or
apparently, I haven't seen it yet. Apparently.
Oh, dang it!
Spoilers. Fast forward that. But yeah,
if you've watched Clone Wars, you already know the spoiler. Anyways.
Last thing I watched this week, and this will be the end of my week, is I watched a little movie called Zodiac for the first time.
Ooh,
which is
the long one, the one with Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, and who else is in it? Robert Downey Jr.
Jake
Gyllenhaal, Hulk from Marvel.
Gary Busey.
Gary Busey, right? His name escapes me at the moment. But that's a fascinating little movie, wasn't it? Just kind of like analyzing a murder mystery at that time that was still unsolved. How do you make a movie about that? It's like you paint a villain, and it's not even the villain, because the guy they caught just recently was a completely different guy. It's super nuts.
Well, they still haven't caught they believe the killer died, I believe.
I think
the Zodiac killer.
Is that how it went down? Like, okay, they were like, all right, the guy died, and we finally got proof that it was him, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because that recently came up in the news, didn't it?
No, the Golden State Killer was the one that was caught.
Oh, okay. I got my facts muddled up. Speaking of news, you want to roll through this giant news week?
Let me just quote you a price for an Xbox One.
Yes, let's close that out.
So an Xbox One, 500 gigabytes with the game Gears of War is $199.97. So
bad.
$200. By the way, it costs more to get an Xbox without Gears of War. That's just to let you know.
We don't play Gears of War, damn it.
And a copy of Overwatch is $30. So you're looking at
what?
About $240.
$240, $250?
Yeah, $250.
$350. It's going to cost you $350. But if I get an Xbox anything, it's going to be the Xbox One X 1 terabyte bullshit. Costs like half a house nonsense.
Yeah, you don't need that.
I need it.
You're not playing PUBG. You're not playing Xbox in a Xbox enhanced game. And by the time,
what if I am? What if I'm playing PUBG or Fortnite like the cool kids play?
Oh, I play Fortnite.
So I can get that winner chicken dinner.
Well, that's in PUBG, but
what is it called? Victory achieved is when you get the first place.
Number one victory battle royale.
Oh, jeez.
Number one victory, yeah.
Oh, jeez. Did you get to play as Thanos, the Mad Titan, in Fortnite? Did you get to shoot your laser beams? Did you get to shoot laser beams? I'm just being stupid.
Were you able to kill that monster in Monster Hunter for the 10th time?
You know what? Speaking of that, that's how we're opening the news, you bastard.
Okay.
New announcement for Monster Hunter. Get hype. Monster Hunter World is dropping an update tonight, which is downloading on my PS4 as we speak. For the new monster, Lunestra. Lunestra is the female counterpart to Teostra, who is a giant fire lion that you have to fight in the game, and it shoots fire. But the female counterpart, Lunestra, is a moon giant tiger monster that shoots purple fire and does cool stuff and gives you cool armor drops. And how it's going to work is that I believe it's going to be an event where you have to fight both of them at the same time. So team synergy is going to be extremely important when hunting these monsters and having to get a rhythm of how they're going to react to each other. And still other monsters can interfere. So it could be like a triple threat match if certain monsters just show up, which they can in this game. So it's really exciting. I'm really hyped to play it tonight and just start running sets on this monster. And I just picked up the Bard class, which is the Bard class in Monster Hunter called the Hunting Horn. And pretty much your whole thing is you're a support character. So when you fight, you're hitting the monster upside the head with your giant bass guitar, but you're also playing music while you're doing it. So you're grooving on your bass while punching a monster in the face that rhymed bars. And you give all your buddies like health boosts and attack ups and ailment like deflections and all types of cool stuff. So I created my Dandelion build based off of The Witcher, of my Dandelion fighter with his giant bass guitar of death. And Nostra is going to catch these musical hands tonight, bruh. Super excited for that. Monster Hunter World.
So this also reminds me of a DLC that just came out for a game, Sea of Thieves, the Hungering Deep DLC. It came out May 29th, yesterday. And I do have to say, this is the shot in the arm that this game needed. I'm talking you have to, there's a mini campaign. I'm going to call it mini because I'm almost completed with it, but the final part is tricky. So I completed most of the campaign in a night. You have to solve all these riddles and all that. But here's the tricky part. The final thing is that you have to actually face this massive creature that's similar to a megalodon. They call it the Hungering. And
nice.
You can't face it by yourself. It's kind of, I would say it's similar to a Destiny raid where you have to find people to go with you.
Okay.
And you have to have up to 5 people. They recommend 2 different ships, and you have to go to the specific spot on the map. I had to look up online which spot, T26, I think. And you have to play the drum, which summons the shark. And then I'm watching all these battles of the shark, and it takes about 12 minutes, this battle. And then you're done. Yeah, and you're done.
Wow.
But it's ridiculous.
Have you given it a shot yet? Have you
not yet? I don't know 5 people that play Sea of Thieves, so
dude, isn't that the suckiest part about it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the good thing about Monster Hunter is that I don't necessarily run with a crew. I play solo all the time, right? Because I don't necessarily know 5 guys who play Monster Hunter, but you can squad up with other people and they just put you in a squad. You know what I mean? So you can play with plebs rather, and all of you can try to fight the monster rather than you just have to tough it out by yourself, which makes it super hard and not that fun. Like, I don't really like playing the game by myself. I usually join other people's parties as like an add-on and trying to just run with them. You know what I mean? It's not so strict like an MMORPG where it's like everybody has to be a fine-tuned machine to win. You know, there's room for error, but people still die.
True. It looked fun. I'm assembling my team like the Mission Impossible. I'm going through my files of different people I know who own a game or who have the Xbox Game Pass, which this game is is free once you have the Game Pass. It's like just he's skilled at demolition. I need him. Or he's skilled at repairing stuff. Get him. Yeah, it's gonna be cool.
Yeah, man. It's like reminds me of Ocean's 11. It's like, man, we need to get a grease man. Yeah, man, he's the grease man. That's what's up, dude. Speaking of interesting things, it's already been shown, but I've never really talked about it on the show. I don't think is that we finally got the first look at Zachary Levi as Shazam or Captain Marvel for the next DC movie that's coming out, which makes it seem weird because they've been audible yawn. They've been making Aquaman for like 2 years. We haven't seen anything for it, but we're getting more stuff about Shazam than we are Aquaman.
Yeah,
it looks weird. Have you looked at this picture? It looks very different. It looks like
what beachfront kind of apartment did they pick Zachary Levi from? Where has he been all these years after Chuck? Okay, that's like, yeah.
He's been at the house, man. No, he's been like the only role I know, like for sure, he's been in is in the Thor movies.
Oh, that's a lot of work.
One of the Warriors 3 for a while, but that's it. Like, Right. Glorified bit part, right? But he is Captain Marvel. It's a very big role for him. You know what I mean? He has to hold this movie together. And I know the guy has the acting chops. I think he does, right? The only thing that sucks for him is that he's obviously wearing like a muscle suit under it. He has like crazy padding, and they didn't give him time to swell up and fit into the role. You know
I am
what you wanted
super
to do.
skeptical
But,
just by the fact of
Warner Brothers.
I don't like the marketing. First of all, this picture
decided to just rush
the cardinal rule
so it doesn't look that
of being a public figure is never get your photo taken while you're drinking or eating. And here he is taking a drink from a cup, pursing his lips like a certain part of your body that releases excrement. All right, I'm done. It's terrible. Man.
Damn. You're not telling any lies, my good sir. Terrible. Like Charles
it made
terrible.
Okay.
We'll have to see it in action. It's one of those where I just got to see it in action. Let's keep it rolling because we got a lot of news to get through. Apparently, James Mangold has been pulled to write and direct a Boba Fett movie because the Solo movie made so much money.
It made $100 million. The budget was $250.
It made nothing, dog.
Oh, it made 180. Box office 180, and the budget was $250.
Not
Considered
bad.
what it is one of the most
It's-
expensive
I heard-
films ever made, according to Wikipedia.
Dios mio, bro. It's movies blow up like that. It's because you had like 3 different directors and you redirected half the movie, so your budget balloons out of control once you go like at the second run. You know what I mean? So it's like they didn't trust the guy to finish his own movie, so they brought in Ron Sleepwalker Howard to finish it.
Right.
Man, what do you expect? People hear about this stuff, man. People get turned off. And now they're going to say, "Oh, let's do a Boba Fett movie." Don't get me wrong, Boba Fett's one of my favorite characters in Star Wars, even though he got worked and mopped. I love me some Boba Fett, but does he need his own movie? No, Lord, no. Yes, I don't know.
Okay, let me tell you where he fits in the list of most expensive films, and adjusted for inflation. Here we go. So you have Wild Wild West.
Giant spiders.
They're all tied, by the way, in here. Wild Wild West, The Fate of the Furious.
That made his money.
And then the Solo, A Star Wars Story. They're all cost $250 million.
Oh man, talk about the company you keep, huh?
Yeah, they beat Cleopatra. But above them would be Spectre and Star Wars Force Awakens.
Oh man, the marketing for A Force Awakens was crazy, dude. I know a ton of money had to go into that. Oh man, I just think people are burnt out on Star Wars right now. I just think that's what it boils down to.
Fun question. What do you think is ranked the most expensive film?
Waterworld. Easy.
Waterworld. Okay, Waterworld is marked 11 at $276 million.
Wow.
Top is Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides.
Oh, right. Yeah.
$412 million.
What were they doing, dude?
Were they just giving Johnny Depp his own monkey or something?
Were they actually making real life ghosts and shit, dude? Were they manufacturing real ghosts, dude? What were you doing to spend $500 million on a movie?
I don't know.
Disney, man. Poor decisions, dog. Speaking of making poor decisions, Roseanne got canceled after Roseanne Barr's giant racial rant and socio-political rant on Twitter cost her second season of her mildly popular ABC show.
She had one job. Shut her mouth.
One job. Shut your damn mouth. And the thing is, I was talking to people at work about this today, and it's like some people can't help themselves, right? Yeah. Some people just can't help themselves. They're compulsive. They have to say something or be funny or be what they think is funny. And if you're racist POS, then that stuff's going to slip one way or another.
Yes.
And Roseanne, you know, and ever since I saw the picture of her dressed like Hitler with the cookies in the oven, I'm like, this woman is nuts, dude. Why are they giving her another shot?
Ha ha!
You know what
So
I mean?
funny.
And,
okay.
So topical.
Yeah.
The Holocaust.
Yeah.
What the hell? What bothers me the most about this thing is that all the people attached to it are now.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That,
you know what I'm saying?
I think what they should have done was kept the show going, but have her character die from like a heart attack.
Like they killed Dan. They've already killed Dan. They can't kill her, man. I guess.
But they brought him back. So then what you do is
stupid.
20 years later from this, you have her head wake up from a dream and go, "Did I sleep again?" And then someone goes, "Nope." And they just squish her head.
They flush it down the toilet. You know, it'd be cool if they fired her, like you said, but recasted her as like Kathy Bates. Yes. That would be fun. I want Kathy Bates in there. Dan.
Oh, that'd be great. But here,
get award-winning Kathy Bates.
Here is a fun question for you: which celebrity actor has latched onto this to promote an idea he has?
Is this like something that really happened? Like,
this has happened like an hour after the show was canceled.
I want to guess Tom Arnold. Is it Tom Arnold?
No. It is none other than Charlie Sheen coming.
I thought he was like done, dude. I thought he was at the house forever. I thought he was finished.
No, he's saying that he wants his character brought back to 2.5 Men.
The show was already canceled.
It's definitely still on. I think it's crap, but still on. I'm picking it right now.
Didn't they kill off his character super hard? Didn't they kill off his character ultra hard? Like killed him twice. He's
coming up with ideas on Twitter on how to bring him back. I think one of them was a coma. You know, very original.
A coma, like a.
Oh, it's been gone for 3 years, so I don't know what he's talking about.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what is he talking about, man? He's like, I want you to remake the show, but have me still be the star. Get out of here, dude. Man. Speaking of disillusioned stars, Jamie Foxx has been confirmed as Spawn. They're playing Todd McFarlane's Spawn. We talked about this last week, so I'm not going to go really into it. But the confirmation is fun. I'm very skeptical. Very skeptical. That's all I'm going to say. Big news. I have to ask you a question, Winner, and I'm interested to see what you think it is. What exactly is Fallout 76?
Well, it's definitely not Fallout 5. I don't know. I don't know why they skipped a number, but
they skipped a lot of numbers, dude. What is this?
Well, the vault number itself, as many of you know, is 76. I predict that it's going to be in West Virginia, and that
would be cool, dude.
And they're talking more like a mountain range sort of thing. I think you're going to see like hillbillies, rednecks more often. Then I also think that they've been reclaiming day is something that they're promoting in the trailer. So what is that? That's the day that they're getting out of the vault and they're taking back the land. What this I think entails is that you're going to have a deeper mechanics on settlements. I think a deeper that's going to have a bigger role in the gameplay than Fallout 4 ever had.
What if they take more of a survival aspect to it, like you're saying? Like it's not really about bullet time and killing super mutants. It's about actually establishing a settlement, and you have to like rely on the land and get water and make it really about farming and hunting and just living in this world. And of course, there's going to be enemy encounters and stuff.
It's hard
I don't know how to.
It's hard for me to think that they're going to do that because They had that option in Fallout New Vegas. It was considered like once you've beat hard mode, like the hard difficulty, then this new mode is unlocked.
Right.
And it's like you have to manage your like water level, you have to manage your food intake, you can't be in the sun all day or you'll get sunburned, that type of stuff. And I think they added that on Fallout 5 too, or something like that. But I don't think that's really what the audience is looking for. But I also don't think the audience is looking for a Fallout RTS game either. I wasn't a fan of the settlement building myself.
Me neither. I thought it was kind of forced for me. Like I just didn't. It wasn't fun because I'm not really a Minecraft kind of guy. But I was just having this argument with my friend. He was like, "What do you think it's going to be?" And I just was like, "I don't think it's going to be anything major because Skyrim 2 isn't out yet." Bethesda usually does these things in rhythm. Like you're going to get a Fallout game, you're going to get an Elder Scrolls game. You're getting a Fallout game, Elder Scrolls game. So whatever this is, I don't think it's their A team. Because if you look at the graphics, it looks very Fallout 4-ish. Like it doesn't look like it looks like it's new textures, but old models. Especially when the guy's suiting up, you know what I mean? He's putting on the 76 jumper and whatever. It still looks very Unreal Engine 3-ish. So I think it's going to be like a New Vegas kind of mod.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But for Fallout 4, or where New Vegas was a mod for Fallout 3, and their A team is still working on Elder Scrolls whatever, you know what I mean, as the major PS5 drop release. You know what I'm saying? So whatever this is, I don't think it's going to be a mobile game, mind you, because it looks like they put way too much energy into it. But I don't think it's the next big game from Bethesda. I think they're still keeping that under wraps and working on it. And this is a placeholder for this E3. If there's anything, it's so they don't have to talk about Elder Scrolls whatever yet.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Just have this there, and have probably Prey 2 is going to be there for them, and that's it. I'm thinking, unless they just want to go nuts and do like a Year of Dreams and just say, okay, we're doing Elder Scrolls 2 whenever, and just have an infinite date like Final Fantasy VII remake, you know what I mean? Unless they just want to blow all of our minds. But I don't think they're going to do that. I think it's going to be Prey 2 and whatever this is at E3.
And Battlefield 5.
It's a glorified E3. Battlefield 5!
Yep.
Battlefield 5! Oh, man. Speaking of new placeholders, have you heard about this new show that Matt Groening, how you say his last name? Matt
Groening.
The guy who created Groening. I'm groaning. The guy who created The Simpsons. He's doing a new show on Netflix called Disenchantment, and I don't know what to make of it. It looks very interesting. It looks very Simpson-y. It looks too Simpson-y. It looks more Simpson-y
Futurama.
than Futurama.
Well, that's his. I would say that's his style. Like American. Well, does American Dad look like Family Guy? Would you say?
You know what? I would say so, right? It has like the same flavor. Like those characters can exist with each other and not look totally crazy. Like the Simpsons interacting with Family Guy characters just looks jarring, right? It just looks weird.
They've done it.
Fry done it and it was stupid. But, like these Disenchantment characters look like a fever dream from Bart Simpson. You know what I mean? Even one of them looks like Bart Simpson with a little pig nose. You know what I mean?
By the way,
it kind of reminds me of like
a demon character played by Eric Andre in the show. Yes.
Really? That sounds interesting. They're going to actually let Eric Andre be responsible for something?
He has his own show. What are you talking about?
I love the Eric Andre show, actually. I unironically love it. It's so stupid.
It made me feel like, okay, as a man of color, I can do weird comedy now.
I am an octopus.
And then I found out Tyler, the Creator, has been out for years, so I'm fine with that.
I am an octopus. Yeah, these weirdos, and I love them to death. On Adult Swim, give me the right to say whatever I want and not feel weird. Because Eric Andre is literally throwing up butt naked in front of like
Yeah.
Tisha Howard, like Tisha Arnold. And it's like, if he could do that, I could do whatever the hell I want. Like, I have free reign. If Tyler, the Creator, can be a weirdo too, and I love Tyler. He seems like a really cool dude, and he's like not too far. He was born not too far from where I live. He's an interesting kid, but he's a grown man now. Jeez.
So,
but
I would say, so back to the show.
Yeah.
If this was on Fox, I would be skeptical of it surviving more than a season, because I personally think that Matt Groening is tired, and it's not personally him making these shows, writing The Simpsons. It's like a bunch of other people, of course. So how much then again, how much does he really control of the show is another question. And Netflix is a lot more lenient. Yeah.
Right.
What were you going to say?
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Netflix is a lot more lenient toward that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
What you're trying to say? Yeah, man. And we've had this discussion before about the talent of aging creators. You know what I mean? Like the Ridley Scotts and the Steven Spielbergs and the George Lucases, the Matt Groenings of the world. But these guys were brilliant at one point, right? Like they were infallible, like their talent. But now that they're getting older, the Frank Millers, right. You know what I mean? And they're just getting weirder, and their work is getting sloppier. You know what I mean? And it's like, when do we finally tell these guys to kind of lay down somewhere?
Or like, at least
you're ruining your
help.
name. Yeah, or let people help you. That's a really good point. You know what I mean? Some of these guys don't want to do it. They're like, no, it's all me. It's always been all me. And it's like, sir, you need people to help bring you in. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's kind of frustrating because I don't want to just disparage this show before we've even seen it. Because who knows? It could be the next Futurama and be a sleeper hit. And it does have better chances to be successful on Netflix than on Fox, because Fox will cancel anything for no reason.
You're right.
You know what I mean? And even though Matt is a Fox baby, he's all Fox all day. Yeah, I think they burned him with Futurama. He wants nothing to do with Fox now. So, you know what I mean? They really grinded his gears, so to speak, about Fox and about Futurama. So it's like, Netflix, sure, whatever. That's where everything goes when it's not wanted by anybody else, right? It's kind of weird. Speaking of things that people didn't ask for and don't want, there's a new game I'm kind of interested in. It's this gory, not safe for work game called Agony. It's all metal with demons and hell and all types of gross, weird 90s stuff.
Yeah. I think I've heard of this.
I wanted to buy it at first. I really wanted to. Yeah, it's been kind of on the periphery of game news because it's so weird and so gross. It's like, you ever played Dante's Inferno on the PS3? It's like that to like the nth degree. You know how disturbing Dante's Inferno was at points with like the unbaptized baby attackers in hell. It's like crazy stuff. And Agony is supposed to be that like to the nth degree. And I was really excited to play it. I wanted to buy it. It's like a $40 game. But I'm hearing stuff, dude. I'm hearing stuff like, oh, the game's buggy and it's too dark and it's short and the combat is bad and it drags and the writing. And I'm like, oh no, man, that's really bad. It's so disappointing because I was ready to buy it like on Friday. I was going to just download it and check it out. But if it's not scary and it's not fun and it's not fun to play and it runs rough, then I'm totally disenchanted with it. Once again, disenchanted with the game, and I really had high hopes for it. So now I was watching somebody let's play it earlier, and all they can do is complain about the controls. Like they just kept complaining about it. Oh, this game is stiff. Why is it so stiff? Is it my controller? It has to be my controller. I'm like, oh no.
Can I will ask something from reviewers out there. You have to mix in your critique you have to mix in what you don't like about the game with stuff that you do like. Because if you just add what you don't like, you're going to sound like a pompous jerk. Like certain film critics. Mm-hmm. But then if you pepper in, it's like what they tell you in marriage counseling. Like you gotta put two compliments, and then in the middle you put in what you're asking for, or like what you want. Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah, it's the compliment sandwich. It's
Yeah,
it's the criticism sandwich. Two compliments in the middle of a criticism. You can't just be a thumbs down all day on everything because no one's gonna. It decredits you. Because they're like you don't like anything. You're such a quote unquote hippie or whatever about hipster about it. And it's like you got to be. You have to be kind of in the middle. If the game is a bad game, like if it's just a flat out bad game, I'm not saying manufacture good things, but don't nitpick it. Like I've read so many God of War.
right.
Like it's cool to crap on God of War. You know what I mean? Oh, this game is so pretentious and it really treats mothers bad and has a bad reflection on fathers. It's like the game has a great reflection on the father-son relationship. Like shut up. Like what are you talking about? Like even me, I'll get frustrated with it. Like just calm down. People are so quick to be SJ warriors. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like just relax. Oh man. Speaking of one thing that's not going to make me relax, and I'm going to go ahead and make this the last. Oh, quick shout outs to Mega Man 11. It's going to be announced on October 2nd on all consoles. I'm going to be buying that. Because I love me some Mega Man. Final Fights Cody returns to Street Fighter V, which nobody cares about but me because I'm a fighting game head. I don't care. Cody looks sick. Codell Traverson with the tie buttoned up to his throat, ladies and gentlemen. And there's a new Pokemon game coming out for the Switch. It's like Pokemon, I think it's called Pokemon Yeah or something like that. It's like Pokemon Yeah. And it's like Pokemon Pikachu Edition and Eevee Edition. Of course, I'm getting the Pikachu Edition because Pikachu all day. But the last thing I wanted to talk about, which is really dumb and I don't think anybody cares about but me, but whatever. Paramount Pictures is developing a Creepy Crawlers feature film.
No, I don't think I had Creepy Crawlers.
Remember Creepy Crawlers, Winter? Were you around? Creepy Crawlers.
No,
I don't know anything about
was that when Taft was president?
Toy. Whatever, you young bastard.
Okay, Jimmy Carter.
Whippersnapper. Okay, no, it was more like Bush Senior, but no, it was more like Clinton.
Yeah.
Anyway,
now that's a creepy crawler. Got it.
Around... Got him. Yeah. Get the back of that neck. Give it the back of that neck. But no, this was the boy equivalent to the Easy Bake Oven. You know what I mean? Where back in the day, with the subjugation of women, unfortunately, the toys they would give their girls would be the Easy Bake Oven. For kids who don't know what that is, it's a small little fake plastic confection oven where you can bake cakes and pies and weird stuff. And boys didn't have anything like that. So what they created was this gross monster mash kind of gelatin machine where you can make gummies.
Okay, I remember seeing commercials.
Yeah, you can make like worms and gross out your sister and make like spiders and stuff. Creepy crawlers. Like, I don't know how they're going to make a movie out of this. It's going to be the dumbest thing ever. I don't care about the movie per se. I'm just hyped because Creepy Crawlers is coming back to the zeitgeist. I'm all for that. Creepy Crawlers is...
Well, it's going to be about a machine that creates live bugs that take over a town.
Yeah. Starring Jack Black for some reason.
No, it's got to be starring The Rock.
Everything stars Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Doug. Oh man! Shout out to my boy Brian who's trying to force me to watch the Skyscraper trailer. I don't want to watch it, man. I have to.
Can we stop with the ridiculous movies,
Skyscraper.
People? Yeah. Is he going to be like the next? Is he Charlton Heston now? Where Charlton Heston makes like good movies, but then he also makes like Tower Inferno, or like Ants. There's ants getting
No,
me.
my favorite one is Hiss, where the name of the movie is just It is just a picture of a snake. It's so stupid. It's the best. Oh man, good times.
Oh my gosh.
Questions. Let's get into some questions real quizzic. If you want to ask us a question like what's our favorite Charlton Heston movie or our favorite Charles Bronson movie, you can send that to mastersofthenerdiversecast@gmail.com. That is mastersofthenerdiversecast@gmail.com. Send us questions. First question. You ready, Winter? Are you ready?
Yes.
Are you ready? Okay, first question. What is your favorite movie montage musical moment?
Goodfellas when they're in the 1980s being chased by a helicopter.
Oh yeah,
Is that
that's a montage because he's
Yeah.
running around the city trying to get like his little brother's birthday party ready.
Yeah.
Like whoa,
Yeah.
whoa, whoa. He's like constantly looking out of his car. And it's like a helicopter like in the distance.
Yes.
He's like he got the wrong gun parts and he was like high on coke.
Right.
It's such a good scene, dude. You beat my scene.
No, I can't lie. Every time we get to the part where he's like making the meatballs and the cutlets and all that, I get hungry. Like I want that.
Why is the food in Goodfellas so bomb looking, dude? Like my food scene in that movie is when they're in jail and Paulie is like cutting the garlic with the razor blade and it's like thin, microscopically thin, see-through slices that he's putting into the meat sauce. Oh my goodness, it makes me hungry, dude.
Hey, Paulie, not too many onions.
He's like,
okay?
yeah. Oh man,
he says too many onions. I don't know what onions enough. How many did you put in? I put two. Two onions.
If I had to choose one, it would be the preparing scene in Predator.
Yeah.
Where Arnold Carl Weathers and the crew are setting up the jungle to actually be the predators themselves and they get worked out. And it's like montages of Arnold like lifting trees with his muscularness. It's dopest, dude. Predator, one of my favorite movies of all time. Oh man. Second question. What's your favorite split decision argument in pop culture? Meaning like, are you Scorpion of Sub-Zero? Are you Ryu or Ken? Are you Amos or Andy? Ginger or Marianne? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. I think my favorite. Well, it's like I don't know if I've ever had a split decision. That's like you don't like soccer and ties. There's no split decisions in America. You choose.
Yeah. So what's your favorite choice that you have to argue down with somebody?
Jay Leno versus David Letterman.
Ooh, that's a good one, dude.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, you're a David Letterman?
Yeah.
Me too, honestly. I like David's comedy better than Jay. Plus, Jay seemed like kind of an asshole, honestly.
Yeah.
In real life.
Did you meet him?
No, I never met Jay Leno. I wish. He probably would be driving around in his 25 cars.
Right.
Jeez Louise. My favorite was, going back to something I talked about last night, was earlier today, was Picard or Captain Kirk.
Ooh.
And that's a super polarizing one.
It's Picard.
And it's Picard. Like, honestly, it's Picard, dude. Like, I wasn't around for Kirk, man. Like, Kirk's not my generation. I'm the next generation.
Kirk isn't a fighter. He just sleeps around and sees. Well, first he sees what works, and then he sleeps around.
Yeah,
and
he's a Lothario.
Yeah,
he's a Lothario impulse captain. Where Picard is a true leader, and he knows poetry, and he's sick, dude. Picard's the best, and he was a Borg at one point. It's futile. Picard all day. Favorite Starfleet captain. It goes Picard, then it goes Kirk, then it goes Cisco, and then it goes Janeway, and then it goes the throwaway guy from Enterprise. We don't talk about him. We don't talk about him. It's all a hologram. And last question. If you're on a deserted island and you only can bring 3 musical albums, what albums would you bring?
What album would I bring?
You have 3.
Wait, 3 albums. 3, okay. First would be the first Wolf Mother album.
That's a good one. The Joker and the Thief.
Yep. Then I would bring Simon and Garfunkel Sounds of Silence.
Nice.
And then I would bring the movie soundtrack to The Who's Tommy.
I see. I really asked this question because I wanted to know your musical stylings. You have a good head on your shoulder, man. Like this is a question I actually put on the docket myself. I'm just curious, like because you always kind of drop like the music you like, and yeah, I like your style, man. That's what's up.
Thank you.
Mine's are weird. So my top three is I would bring
Post Malone.
Post Malone. I would bring that new Migos. No, I'm just kidding.
Lil Xan.
Lil Xan. That kid needs Jesus.
And Tech 969 or whatever the hell
Tech
that
9 is a
kid's
beast.
name is.
Don't disparage.
No, not Tech 9. Tech 6 or that kid that has like the rainbow hair.
Oh yeah, Sparkles. I call him Sparkles. Yeah, Sparkles.
Tech 69 or something.
Extension or something like that. It's so stupid.
Tekken 6.
Tekken 6. That's the guy's name. Tekken 6.
Yeah.
You keep coming up with podcast names. Anyway, that's so dumb. I would bring Cream, Disraeli Gears. That's one of my favorite albums of all time.
Ooh,
one of Eric Clapton's original bands that he was with. So I bring Cream, Disraeli Gears. I would bring Wu-Tang Forever. Wu-Tang Clan's best album, in my opinion. And honestly, you mentioned soundtracks earlier, and I would bring the soundtrack to Daredevil, one of my favorite. The old bad Ben Affleck Daredevil has an amazing soundtrack. It has Evanescence on it, Stone Sour, Hoobastank. It's a very good album. I love it. I unironically love that album. It's so good.
That came out of nowhere.
Oh, it's super. I want that so bad, but listen to it later tonight when I play Monster Hunter. It has.
I was already like geared up to go. Like you like albums that have like a good bass to it.
I love.
Because you're a bass player. Yeah.
And if not that, I would pick the Dummy album from Portishead. Classic album. Their Dummy album, the blue one. So good. But if I had to pick three, it's definitely Cream, Disraeli Gears, Wu-Tang Forever, and the Daredevil soundtrack with My Immortal, and it has Bring Me to Life on it. Too real, dog. Too real. Right before your eyes, I am changing. Get off me. What are you looking forward to this week, man?
I'm looking forward to some more Overwatch, to be honest, and this work week to be over.
Yes.
And
Jesus, Lord, yes.
Yeah.
Week, man.
And probably clean some house.
I hear
How
that,
about you?
man. I'm really looking forward to this Monster Hunter update, so I'm really going to jump into that tonight and really play that. I kind of feel obligated to go see Solo, a Star Wars story. So I'm probably going to see that sometime this weekend and talk about it next week. And I'm like you said, I'm looking forward to Friday, man. I really need Friday to get here. It's been such a long couple of weeks for me personally. And Friday is kind of like the end of a drought. And, you know, I got the sauce back on Friday. So really looking forward to that. Do you have any passing thoughts before we close this bad boy out?
Don't put too many onions in your sauce.
Don't put too many onions. I hate onions already. They're the devil's fruit. But don't put too many onions. And you know what? If you're working at a taco stand, not too much cilantro, okay? Cilantro is a strong herb, dude, a herb. Put a little bit, just enough to coat the meat. Just you don't have to have Taco Bell lettuce layers of cilantro on your street taco, bro. It's not necessary, man. Speaking of things that are necessary, is supporting the show. And you can do that in a number of different ways. First, you can visit our website, which is mastersofnerdiversecast.com, where you can listen to past episodes, including our first episodes, where I'm literally staring into the darkness and speaking to everyone and no one at the same time. You can support us via our Patreon if you'd like to throw some ducats our way to support the show. And if you want to just help us out non-monetarily, you can always like, comment, and subscribe on the device of your choosing. Maybe listening to us through iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, SoundCloud, YouTube, or iHeartRadio, or Google Play. And if you're listening to us from the future, maybe even Spotify one day.
Right.
On that note, 'cause those dudes, man, it's hard to get on that damn thing. I'm, of course, your host, Mike G.
And I am your host, Winter Sturdivant.
And we will always ask you to take that one step beyond.